I've been loved and I've been alone. All my life I've been a rolling stone. Done everything a man can do, everything but get a hold on you. I've done everything a man can do, everything but get a hold on you. I've been blessed and I've been cursed, all my lives have been unrehearsed.
Hi, my name is Ryan Barnard. I'm the managing director, so I'm in charge of basically overseeing the administrative functions and then just basically choreographing the team.
Hi, I'm Debbie Carson. I am a full-time therapist over here at the ARC. I have a master's degree in alcohol and drug counseling as well as a master's degree in social work, both from the US. The ARC is a long-term registered treatment center which works more or less on a 12-week cycle. However, not all people are able to come here for the full 12 weeks, so we make provisions to do more of a short-term program for them in order to accommodate their needs. We've got not only a psychiatrist on board, but a GP as well that will do full medical and psychiatric assessments for those individuals who are needing psychiatric, full medical evaluations just to make sure that the individual is medically safe and sound. We have 24-hour nursing staff. We have clinical psychologists, we've got social workers, we've got counselors. We also have addiction and recovery coaches who help people with 12-step, the 12-step program, and a full-time chef who prepares all of our nutritional meals for us.
My role is a recovery coach. I'm one that facilitates possibly the groups. I've also had my time through active addiction, so the patients or clients can relate to me as an experience of using and recovery.
A recovery coach is somebody who has been in active addiction at one point or another in their life. They have the experience, they have the knowledge of actually being there.
Well, I think it's important for the clients to have somebody to relate to and to know that that there is hope, and that's really where the recovery coaches come in. You know, is primarily with their story of hopelessness, isolation, and all the factors that come with active addiction, and you know, communicating a way forward from that is really the objective, and transferring those you know, those skills needed for ongoing recovery.
I started using drugs at a very early age. When I did pick up, it felt natural, like possibly breathing oxygen. That's like kind of how I felt it was. I'm a drug addict, and I loved using drugs. It wasn't damaging at that point in time. What happened is that as the disease progressed, as my using progressed, is that I started to have to use more and more and more. What happened with that is that obviously I had to pick up on some nasty habits to acquire money, and eventually I've started going to institutions, and many of them. So I've kind of been through the run of the mill with that, and at the end I found a way of living that can keep me clean and happy.
You know, the disease of addiction is a chronic disease. It's right up there with diabetes. It rates right up there with cancer. Chronic being that it's not going to go away. It is a lifetime disease. It does get progressively worse over time, and it can be life-threatening if it goes without treatment.
I was made aware that wasn't enough. 28 days just wasn't enough, so I sort of agreed to stay longer. It was a tough thing for me, you know. Jeez, 3 months out of my circle was going to be long, but I had to do it, and I'm grateful I did do it though.
I think walking in here, I realized that I needed it, and I agreed to 3 months while being here. Didn't even go back home to pack or anything, because I knew I would have effed off. So yeah, being here at ARC, I decided to, 3 months. I'm gonna stick with it, because they are helping me.
I started DJing when I was about 15 in Portugal, and there was no such thing. Well, I hadn't heard of drugs by then. It's only when I got to South Africa and I started playing at big events that I got introduced to drugs. There was nothing wrong at that time also, I thought. I mean, up until then it was just cool. You know, I wanted to be part of the group, part of the gang.
Probably had my first drink when I was 13. It wasn't that heavy until probably after my first marriage. And then, yeah, I've probably been on the pots heavy for probably the last 25 years now.
But as the years went by and I got older and, you know, more problems arose, like failed relationships, failed family relationships and that, there was, as more and more I turned to it.
A lot of times families don't understand how they can help somebody in recovery or how to help somebody who is actually in active addiction. A lot of times they feel that they're alone, that they're the only one who is actually going through this problem. And sometimes they make the mistakes of doing things that they seem to think will be helpful that actually hinders the problem.
I needed stronger stuff, obviously, because, you know, the disease progresses, and it progressed with me, and I needed more things to keep the pain at bay. And yeah, and as the relationships failed and people disappointed me and I disappointed people, that's when I started to get more and more entangled in it until at stages that, and the only thing I could do was turn to drugs. There was no other option for me. Any reason was a reason for me to use, and even the fact that I'm having a good day was a good reason to use. So that's how bad it got.
At the ARC, we're very much in support of providing family education, family information, and then also family sessions so that we can empower the families on how better to work with the people that we have here.
I was very young when I started using. I started drinking and smoking weed, acid, ecstasy, that kind of vibe. I was between 11 and 14, and then like from there it just got worse. It just snowballed, hey. And I mean, by the time I was between 16 and 18, I was a full-blown heroin addict.
I had to make a choice, a very quick one, because I was going to lose the only two friends I had left, which were actually my friends for a few years already. So I knew I made a choice. I had to come and get help. And that's how it all started, you know.
I don't know what happened, but a light bulb went off inside my head, and all of a sudden I could see, you know. It was just very clear to me that I had to get clean, which I did for 7 years, almost 7 years. And yeah, then back pain, hey? I had a very bad hernia in my back, which was impossible to withstand. The pain was just incredible. And the painkillers they were giving me just they weren't working. And so yeah, I started self-medicating, which was a bad idea, terrible idea. And it just snowballed so quickly. It was like in a month and a half, and boom, straight back into active addiction.
At the ARC, we take a very much a holistic approach where we work with the whole person. So we don't only address the substance abuse, we address all areas of one's life. So what we've done is we work with them psychiatrically and medically. We work with them for any underlying issues. We work with them, you know, job-wise, especially if they move into our halfway house program, educational-wise. So we work with them as a whole unit, not just as one specific area of just the drug addiction.
My name is Nicole Schlup and I'm a clinical psychologist. And my involvement here at ARC involves consulting on a weekly basis. So I'll come in and do assessments for the clinic as well as individual therapy.
It hasn't been easy, but it's been a boss experience. Like Nicole Schlup, she's one of the clinical psychologists that she contracts here to ARC. And she's been amazing. I actually look forward to her sessions because she helps me. Like, I had a panic attack last week Wednesday. She was on the phone with me 2 or 3 times, checking if I'm okay. At night, checking if I'm okay. She made a trip here on Thursday, and like speaking to her, and then I was calm again. And like, you know, she's so on top of it. I'm really stoked that she's my shrink.
Structure is extremely important in recovery because part of addict behavior is the lack of daily structure and not taking responsibility for behavior. And what we do at the ARC is we put that structure back in place for them, and we make them accountable. We help them become accountable for their actions.
6 a.m. bell, always hated. Always hated, like today I don't even hear it, but like as I'm saying, it provides such a structure, and yet we need to be awake at a certain time, you need to be out of bed, you need to be showered. So when we walk back into society, that's the kind of attitude that we've adopted, and that's what we're going to succumb to. So 6 a.m. for me now is cool, but once the bell is heard, we wake up, out of bed, in the shower, have a shave, come out, get ready, have a cigarette, hit some duties, and I'm actually enjoying it. I'm quite stoked to be at ARC at the moment.
So I mean, that's why I'm very grateful to be in a place like this. They help you, they teach you, you know, teach you how to like control it and how to live with it. And until you like actually better, you know, which I am getting there very quickly right now.
I'm happy that I came through, and it's really helped me where I am now. Yeah.
Since I've been here, my shoulders have become so much lighter. It's like having a big weight taken off your chest. You know, it sounds like a cliche, but it really isn't. It's just, that's how it is. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's liberating, you know?
Oh no, it's brilliant. We got our ARC ping pong club, which we play games. We always interacting with each other. We do our walks, and then we go to the bunny park, and you know, it's like the small things in life that actually make a big impact, where we, like 30 seconds, it's the most hilarious thing that you would ever imagine, but sitting there, you couldn't actually understand what I mean. But when you're in there, and then the quirks that come out, and everyone has some different personalities, and I don't know, I'm enjoying that side of it as well.
Ping pong. Ping pong. And more ping pong. We get a bit of chess as well. We play 30 seconds. Monopoly.
We have a chef. Food is catered for, lunch is catered for, dinner is catered for. We have snacks in between, healthy snacks, which are chips, apples, bananas, the fruits, that's the healthy snacks in between. And then the tuck shop, that's where the crisp comes in, 2 packets of crisp, two bottles of water, or 2 bottles of cold drink. There are toiletries as well that we're allowed to purchase, and 2 chocolates. And that's enough to get a person through the day. I mean, after 5 o'clock at night, after meetings and stuff, we come back, have some bread, and that kind of thing. So there's not a restriction as much as there is a safeguard at ARC.